All right, so we just mowed the grass. It looks amazing. We had 2 mowers broken. It hasn't been mowed for like a month. I'm all laid out here. The windsock doesn't look like much now. It's kind of windy. So it's been super windy all day. Gusts up to like 30 miles an hour. I think I'm gonna try reverse launch. Reverse launches are easy. With a reverse launch, you kind of like pull the wing up in front of you, like it, turn around and start launching. Technically, they're easier. The thing is, I've done like, I don't know, 170 forwards and like 3 reverses, so I'm not that experienced with them. What happened was I went to this training course at Aviator PPG about a month ago, and the instructor said this. He's like, sometimes we go to these fly-ins and we see that it's windy out and people are doing forwards instead of reverses. And if they're doing a forward in high winds, that tells me that guy probably sucks at reverse launching. And I thought to myself, like, dude, words hurt. So that's when I decided that if there's an opportunity to do a reverse, I'll take it so that, I don't suck at it. John, if you see this, I want you to know not all scars are visible. Anyway, I should set up. The sun's going down. All right. The wind has slowed down since I did my intro. I'm not sure if I can do a reverse.
Okay, so I just cut out me standing here for about 3.5 minutes, waiting for a good enough wind where I felt like I could safely do a reverse. It doesn't come. I pull the plug on that idea and I decide to launch forward. This is where I make my mistake. When I clip into a wing, I don't figure out how to do it. I've been taught how to do it, and I just follow that recipe every single time. The thing is, on this flight, I have the speed bar hooked up, so it's an extra step. That's the speed bar line right there, that gray one. And I'm doing something I don't normally do, which is like bail on a reverse and go to a forward. So I try to be clever, and I'm like, you know what? Since one side's already hooked up properly, I'll just leave it hooked in and step over it. Look how clever I am. This turns out to be where I make the core of my mistake. What you're going to discover as I launch on this thing is that I'm not hooked in correctly. The smart move, for me anyway, would have been to just completely unhook everything and reset and hook it back in the way that I know how to do it. But rather than do that, I just did one side, and we'll see on my launch in a second here how this goes wrong. And I'm looking at the tape, like right now, and I'm like, I can see how I made this mistake. Like, these things are hanging correctly. Everything, like, kind of casually looks okay. Like, I was wondering what it was going to be like, but I'm not obviously dumb here, even upon redoing it. I just made a bad decision in not doing it the way that I know works. It's not an emergency, so I'm going to fly this way, get some altitude, and then sort it out. At this point, I don't realize that the entire riser is clipped in like 360 degrees incorrectly. I think the brake is just wrapped around.
I sort of thought there'd be bumps. A little more altitude, and I'll sort out this steering toggle. See? Alright. That's better. Bigger problem, my riser's not set up right. Shit. Somewhere in that like reverse forward thing, I hooked it up wrong. So that I'm not satisfied with. And I'm gonna come in for a landing. Kind of a risk. See, I do things the same way every time. Today I did them differently. And made a mistake, I guess. So, this is a good opportunity to take a breath, realize I'm okay. I can do this. Really, the wing is even flying fine. But if I'm nervous, like, you know, in the yellow, in the red, I'm more inclined to make a mistake and have a crappy landing. So, just realize I have been trained. I'm not breaking new ground, either personally or getting a lot of sink right here. Fuck me, rotor. Either personally or otherwise, everything is cool. I just want to bring it in and fix it. Here we are. Everything is cool. All right. Now it should be right, but just the same, I'm gonna take it back to the golf cart, reset. One of the cliches in aviation. There's two of them, I'm messing it up, but it's like, there's nothing more worthless than it might be airspace above you, and the other part is runway behind you. So I'm gonna walk this thing all the way back, so I have all the runway I can get, and then I'm gonna lock in, clip in again, doing it the way I normally do it, and I'm gonna make sure that everything is perfect. Let's fire it up. Check. Happy. That's better. All right. So I'm headed into a pretty good wind right now. I'm not even sure. I think I am going forward, but I'm kind of parked here. So I'm gonna try something new to me. The speed bar. I've literally never used this before. Oh, it works. Oh, I don't have full speed. Oh, I'm not here yet. Oh, it's scary. Okay, so I'm gonna let out the speed bar a little bit. You're not supposed to use your brakes and your speed bar together. You're supposed to just use wingtip steering. All right, let's get some altitude. So I'm kind of figuring things out. All right, so this is full speed. I'll grab my wingtips in case I want to steer. And
all going full speed. I'm going to put on the speed bar and see what's up. All right, 1447. Let's see if I can gain altitude. Yes. So, under full acceleration and full speed bar, I can still gain altitude at full throttle. That's awesome. That was part of the test. So I'm going to back off the throttle a little bit. And I'm trying to get an appreciation for how much throttle I need. Alright, so I'm losing altitude at 61. It's probably somewhere around 65. Oh, this is exciting to me. So I'm going to try wingtip steering a little bit, just gently. I should really be flying now. This is the fastest I've ever gone. All right. I guess I'll turn around. Practice. I'm going to try something else. Alright. Stow the wingtip steering. Put this guy back. Pull the trimmers in. I continue to be happier and happier with my setup. This is just awesome. Alright, let's get some altitude. Alright, so I'm going to work on asymmetric spirals. Give the motor a second. Cut it. It's scary still. And let's just see what it does. Alright, that was pretty good. Not sure I broke new ground, but I'm like playing with the timing and learning along the way. But for right now, let's fire it up and get some altitude. the same thing again, but this time to the left. See how that goes. What I'm trying to do is play around with the timing and understand how weight shifting earlier and later impacts what the wing does. Just, you know, every time I'm up here, I learn something. Got a little experience. Doing kind of a regular spiral. There's a lot of energy in this turn right here. Watch that outside wingtip, Woody. Let's maybe do one more. Alright, that was cool. That was cool. Awesome. I think I'm better at left than right. I don't know if it's me or the motor or what, but success. Let's fire this up and go home. Two or three, maybe a 3 on the bump scale right now. Like I said, that's to be expected because it was kind of wild all day. I'm not surprised that there's patches of wild left over. Oh no, what I want is that. All right, let's get down. Make this a win. What I intend to do, if you can see my yard, you should, is probably fly some laps around it till I'm the right altitude, then come in this way. And then I'll walk over to the golf cart and drive back to the garage. Oh, I gotta set up my seat for landing. Let's do that now. Alright, all systems go. Maybe someday I'll do stunts over my own yard, but as it is, I just consider it kind of tight. Yeah, I don't do it mostly. I mostly just come in easy. Also, I tend to be lower to the ground over my own house, and I don't do stunts low to the ground. It's a little more dangerous and you know, shucks, I'm just learning. I shouldn't be doing that. So, let's pull some harder brakes so I stay in the property boundary. Nice. And I'll do a long upwind pass to lose my altitude. See the windsock's blowing a little bit. That's all good. Alright, I think my altitude is good. We'll see what I think as I come in for the pass. Pretty happy, maybe a little high, so I'll swing wider. Good, Woody, good. Ah, excellent. This is right where I want to be. And come in for our landing. I got some lines on the camera.
Well, that was awesome. I'm happy with my acro. I'm happy with my speed bar. I have like a fly-in coming up in a week or two, week and a half. So I'm psyched to like have my equipment all set. Very, very good. But it is sunset and it's time to get going. So I'm gonna pack this stuff up. See you guys next time. Enjoy the outro.
Yeah, multi-million-dollar deals got $1 million deal. When I was younger, I would wonder how $1 million feel. And for and feel like I ain't even broke a seal. Cause when you drop hits, they want you to pick up the bill. Now my life is in Maryland, my heart is in Chicago. New York state of mind, but out LA, man, that's where I go. When I need to lay this shit down, so much on my